What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle for the next episode of Sunless Sea, where we had dove down into a random abyss, and I was like, and the game said good luck. That's never a good sign. The game wished us good luck. Normally the game is like, you have this chance of success. This is the first time I've ever seen the game be like, alright, and just throw its hand up in there and be like, good luck. Your submarine's lights illuminate bas reliefs carved in the walls of the chasm. They depict men and women rowing from a sunless city. Then far at sea, scuppering their ships. Symbols etched into the walls flicker with fire. I can record their messages with my pages. I lose 10 iron, but I gain 20 hearts. I can gain iron pretty easily just by farming enemies and whatnot. I can depart. I can go deeper. There's something either further down in the darkness. A failure will damage your hull. We succeeded. Your helmsman's response is unjustifiably foul-mouthed, but she assents. Your submarine's pinprick of light shines into a cliffside, illuminating a spot of vast inverted cathedrals, a fathomless church. I can leave, or I can perform the ritual of greeting. The church's niches all possess the same decoration. Statues of men and women standing before a door, bells in their hands. Follow their example. You swim into the nave. Your bubbles float upwards towards the tiled floor. Through the mosaic is entirely black, or though the mosaic is entirely black, there is form in its formlessness. At the end of the aisle is an archway. Inside, a kelp rope floats upwards from a deep chasm. When it drifts within reach, you snatch it and pull. A great weight moves at the other end, and you pull again. It rings out once, twice, thrice. The waters stir. A strong current throws you into the nave and carries you back out the mouth of the church. So I made myself known. You need abyssal rights, approaching her ladyship no more than 0. And I have 1. Okay. I guess I'll ascend. I'm not gonna... I mean, that's a pretty flat trade, and I feel like it's fair. 10 irons is not that much. I succeeded. You brush away the sand, half filling the carving. Your lamp gives its pattern a sharp shadow. It's uncomfortably warm. Focus. This carving resembles a whirlpool. The lines spiraling outwards brush against the ships. The ancient rowers push into the whirlpool, splinter their own vessels. This must be their destination. To the right of the image is a symbol, a parabolic approach to an object of fascination. The 7-minute bell rings. You must return to your submarine. So I lost 10 irons, but I gained 20 hearts, which should be a net success. So I can only benefit from 1 right at a time. Oh. So you can reset it, too. It rearranges your stats, and you can reset it when you want to. Interesting. I wonder if there's more rights that get unlocked as you come back to abysses and whatnot. So how do you know where this is, though? So it's to the northeast of the salt lines. I wish I could draw on the map or something to remind myself that it's there. Maybe there's, like, one of those for each stat, and you can trade. And they're probably, like, for example, you probably trade mirrors for veils. You probably trade... I would assume iron for pages or iron for hearts. I don't know. I have no idea how that one plays out, but I bet that other abyss that we had that's right over by London, I bet it does the same thing if you dive down into it. Cool stuff. But you would have to mark each one every single time you play in order to, like, memorize where the stat upgrades are. Because technically you're getting 20 stats for 10 stats, so that is a trade that I think most players in this game would take. You're trading a number of secrets for free stuff, basically. And if it works out, like, it's really, really easy for me to increase my irons by just attacking things underwater. You could get irons easily up to 150 just by farming monsters, and then you trade that in for whatever the stat you're having trouble getting. I'd put it into pages, personally. That would be me. Because pages is, like, really, really important. So we can get a port report here. It doesn't look like there's any indicators that Frost found as to what we're supposed to be doing. So I'll take T, and we'll get our supplies. We'll lose our terror. We'll gain our fuel. We'll head back out. And this time around, we're going to be going to the east. So if you didn't watch the previous episode, you don't know what my general plan is. We're going to be going to the east. I ended up buying a whole bunch of firkins of prisoners' honey. Those firkins of honey. And we're going to take those over to the monkeys to try and get ourselves some favor by turning those in and letting them trip balls for a little while. Sounds pretty good to me. Sounds like the sort of thing that'll work out. Prisoner's honey is like a liquor. Well, it's basically, it's honey, actually. It's honey made from lamplighter bees. The bees burrow into you and they learn your memories, and then when they make the honey, you drink the honey and you can relive other people's memories. Sometimes they're pleasant, sometimes they're unpleasant, but it's a thing that you can do inside the confines of the game. We really, really, really need to find ourselves a Judgment's Egg, and I actually didn't have a chance to Google it before I started coming back in here. When it comes to like some of the random stuff, I know we've already gotten one of the Judgment's Eggs, and I think there's only 2 or 3 in the game. So we'll have to use that one to good measure. I think you get one as a drop from one of the big bad enemies you kill, and that's the one that's potentially farmable, but I can't remember which enemy it is that drops it. If I could recall that, I think we'd have a pretty solid chance at getting that, and then we could unlock the financier, or the propagandist. That's what it is. We could unlock the propagandist, and that would give us the propagandist, that would give us the navigator, and that would give us... There's another person we have, too. I think we've gotten 2 of them so far, and we got to collect 7 people for our attack on the place where they hide immortality. Get my intelligence. Sounds good. Not going to really do anything else here. All I really wanted was that. I don't want to waste my something awaits me just in case there's something else useful around. We will go to Mount Palmerston. We'll go to Mount Palmerston, where we had met a deviless who I had tried to seduce. Well, not seduce. I tried to ask her out on a date, and it didn't go over so well. Apparently, devils don't like mere men, but maybe when I'm immortal and I come back. Maybe when I've got the credentials of a devil, i.e. being immortal, she'll come back. Maybe she's just worried about a broken heart for right now. But it was worth a shot. I mean, you got to put it out there. If you don't fire at the target, you can never hit. So, why not give it a go? That's my dating strategy. It's worked out pretty well for me so far. You just be like, hey, you're beautiful. I'm beautiful. How about we get together and do beautiful things? You know, just like take a chance. The Faustic Corsair. He's definitely getting sunk. Yup. He's getting sunk like my hopes for 2016. With a quickness. Dude, why you guys always give me the booty like that? You guys gotta stop giving me the booty like this. You give up the booty like that too readily, and that's why you're always getting sunk. What do we have? What do the villains hold? We've got an oilskin packet, which has an unread log. Okay. Those are occasionally useful. Not an incredibly useful or inherently valuable item, but on occasion, you will need one, and until you need one, you don't really know you need one, and so it's like, well, you might as well carry around 5 or 6 of them just in case. I've hit a bunch of quests in this game where they're like, alright, I need 5 logs, and you're like, ah, shit, I don't have those. That's why I sink everything I see so far, because killing stuff is actually one of the few ways you can get your hands on some of the more random things in this game. It's Mount Palmerston. We will chat about the Brimstone Convention. We will go up the crater. Where'd the Devilous go? Got 16 fragments. When you come inside of the cottage, you think for a moment that it's been overgrown with a black ivy. A few more steps and it's shifting in the wind. Before you realize that, as is generally the case in the Neath, there is no wind to speak of. The ivy heaves like a sea, and the closest portion suddenly lifts and dissolves. The air is filled with a deep and savage buzzing. A cloud of great black bees rises above the cottage and extends a limb in your direction. You back away, but you do not run. Well, we got something out. I think I needed ambiguous eoliths for something. Didn't I? I feel like I did. I wonder if somebody needed ambiguous eoliths. So I'm gonna buy like 10 of them just in case. Just so they're inside my inventory for later. Whenever it will too. Believe me, it will. At some point, we'll come across that objective, and I'll be like, oh, I'm such a giant idiot. And I'll forget what I needed it for, and then I'll find the objective again, and I'll feel stupid. And ow, that was my leg, Ollie. That was my leg. Goddamn cat claws. I swear, they're the worst. That's right, Corsair. You're so much worse than Smooth Air. That's why you're getting punished. You're gonna shoot at me? Like hell you do. You best bring a better shot than that. Dude, we bring the Brucka up in here. I've got mythical shit made out of meteors shooting at you. I made a gun out of a meteor to murder you with. A stout crate. We have a fuel. Hooray! Give me fuel. Give me fire. Give me that which I desire. Huh. Ba-da-da, 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 ba-da-da. Never been a big Metallica fan. It's kind of required because I'm a Megadeth fan. You're not really allowed to like Metallica and Megadeth. It's just like one of those things. You got to pick a side. My opinion is that Dave Mustaine was too goddamn metal, and he was making Metallica too awesome, so they kicked him out. Dave Mustaine really sort of embodied the spirit of heavy metal. Like, is the guy an asshole? Absolutely. Oh, there's a spy. He took my moves in the great game, son of a bitch. It's because I picked up crew when I was at the Connet. I'm going to pay for that for a long-ass time. I can tell already. Till we catch that little bastard, it's just going to be trouble. Dave Mustaine is an asshole, but he personifies heavy metal. Oh, I should have got some Dark Drop coffee beans. I can sacrifice a lamentable relic. Nope, not going to be doing that today. What do you guys have going on over here, though? A Judgment's Egg for 10 secrets. Tough one. Real tough one. One that I don't really know what to say about either because, like, I could buy a bunch of secrets. I mean, God knows we have money coming out of our ears right now, and there's nothing really left to spend it on unless you really want the Dreadnought. But at that point, you're kind of gambling on the fact that the Dreadnought gives you no extra guns. The only difference is it gives you a tail gunner. I never use the tail gunner anyways. Although if you're running away from like a monster, I guess the tail gunner would be nice for kiting. But that would take forever. That would take like all day, every day. So, I don't know. I may not upgrade to the Dreadnought. I feel like I'm pretty happy with my situation right now. And in fact, I was happy with the Corvette except for the fact that it couldn't carry shit for... So my question is, does that have a gun on the back? The glorious Dreadnought. I can't see a gun on the back. But then again, it's got a smokestack, so I don't know. Nope, not today. It looks like he does not have a gun on the back. And he gave me the booty hole. Oh, he does have a gun on the back. It doesn't look like it hits particularly hard, though. So we may be able to just face tank this. But I know the last thing we want is to come about in front of him. I would rather eat the hits from behind. Actually, he can't fire on us from behind either unless he straightens out. And we just reset his firing solutions. I think the guns in the back take longer to load, too. Oh, he's so close. Got him. You have destroyed a glorious Dreadnought, and the ship is yours. What will you do? Scuttler, I guess. All you get is a cask of... Oh, is that the mark of the Iron Republic? Hell's Client State? Gain 7 fuel. Oh. That's kind of nice, I guess. I mean, I expected maybe a little bit more. Waxy white lumps sheened like paraffin. L droppings, the bosun opines. Don't know what they're made of, but they'll burn long and steady. Better than coke. Much. Alright. Well, we took 32 damage on that one, but that's not that terrible. All things considered, it was a creature with 500 HP. I mean, it could have gone a lot worse. It does have a tail gun, though, now, so I know that for future reference. Little bit of a problem, but probably resolvable. This one I needed to go... I think I needed to get favor with the monkey people. Oop. And that's how we lose our armor. That's how we scrape off plates. Alright, so we wanted to go to Port Stanton. I will get the port report. We will visit the Zeppelin. Actually, I think we got to go to the Zeppelin through the Empire of Hands. There we go, to the Wild Wheel Court. The Chandler of Souls. I need more Wild Wheel status, though. The Silent Gallery. Oh, she wanted red honey. Ooh. Okay. All right. She wanted red honey, so I got the wrong thing. A newly 5-souled ape trembles in the spotlight, surrounded by ranks of jeering, mocking monkeys throwing vicious abuse in the occasional rock. Its humiliations have been going on for a while by the time you arrive, the latest of them being publicly shaved as proof of commitment. As you watch from the corner, it plunges its head into a large bowl of, oh, how it wishes it was water, until its breath fails, only to be held under until the thrashing ends. Only then is it allowed to slump to the straw, limp and unconscious. The crowd turns to the 3 mandarins whose decision is final. They turn their backs. The unfortunate ape's carcass is dragged away as another steps forward to try its luck. Well, we got status, so that's good. I mean, that's what I needed. Oh, cool. Here it is. There it is. So we can get... Oh, we got romantic literature. I think I needed that for something, too. We can't take that back into London, though, so watch out for that. Yeah. Oh, dark drop coffee beans. Yeah, buddy. We got Wild Wheel status now. They threw that status at us. Yup. That status at us, Gladys. Yeah. Get caught up in our lattice. Alright, so... So we just needed status. Okay. The exquisite seneschal looks around cautiously and bids you follow her into a small room behind the Emperor's throne. She fishes for a small wooden box, and from it produces what looks like a shard of salt, the glimmer of red honey inside. The memory of an architect long dead. They were scribes also. This is not like the honey that you may know. It is frozen, saved. Let it melt onto your tongue. Should anyone see you, it will be said that you stole it, she glares, from the Emperor. Okay. Supplies for the Zeppelin. We do have a lot of fuel right now. The exquisite seneschal provides you with a signed contract in a language that is unlikely any human can read. If you take it to the Iron Republic, they will provide you with hydrogen. It will take several trips to fully supply the Zeppelin, but there will be no charge. The cannibal pirates of Hearthsake Island have long been a thorn in the Empire's paw. With a few little drops of this vial, you could deal with them for good. Their supplies would be very welcome for the voyage. Okay. Oh, I overstocked. That's my fault. Okay, we'll get rid of some fuel. It's fine. Sailing the Empire of Hands. We need to go to Fountainhead Island, I guess. And then now that we've got that, go to the Vault of the First Emperor. We enter the vault, and then we attempt to read the inscriptions after taking the drop of honey. It's not the usual rush of red honey, but a slow fizzling sense as it spreads through your mouth. For a moment, you have the sense of your body being too big, your blood pumping all wrong. Memories hang at the edge of consciousness, unclear and faded. As you look at the inscriptions, though, chaos melts into meaning. A terrible light casts from afar, a sliver of cosmogone in the darkness, burning cinders ashore the sea of the dead. The apes who are not yet of the Pentecost fear them, but their covetous natures will not be denied. Those who hold them burn harder, yet are cursed with tortured ambition no blood-spilling can sate. It is addictive melancholy. It is the Icterine age. Uncounted times hence, he who will be the first emperor is not yet the first emperor. It is he who is first blessed to conquer the blue-clad emissaries from the waters of the dead, and drink deep of their stolen life-breath by cinder light. So dawns the cerulean age. The Pentecost reach and sources the world, shore to shore, and all who are not ape are cast to the dark. The life breaths of the emissaries from the waters of the dead have birthed the eternal empire. In blood and light, all forever bask in the glory of the Amaranth Age. So, after reading it, I think red, blue, and yellow. Is it red? Oh. A crossbow bolt hits you. It is small, but painful. You run back to safety. Do I have a wound now? Yellow. Blue. Red? With a deep relief, you step off the mosaic tile and make a note of the correct sequence. Your mental map is correct. You are near your destination. Hooray! You see them through the door, thousands of them in a pit crossable by only a thin beam lit by inconsistent neath light through a hole in the roof. It would be no problem for a monkey to cross, but a human? It is the delightful adventuress's turn to go first. To her credit, she does not try to weasel her way out of it. Lantern held between her teeth, the adventurer's rapier bouncing casually on her hip, she steps confidently into the thin beam and swiftly crosses foot over foot without so much as a glance down. Your turn. Snake pit? No! You tumble into the snake pit, landing up to your shoulders in a sea of some of the most dangerous creatures ever to slither the Empire of Hands. Already you feel their teeth lunging, the venom pounding through your system, No. You don't feel anything except the weight. Cold, dry skins of hundreds of dead snakes surrounding you. The delightful adventuress peers down. Well, that is what happens when one decides to build oneself a fancy-dancy snake pit and neglects to think of a way for the poor darlings to keep fed, isn't it? Come on, then. Get up from there. No sense in being a big girl's blouse. I don't know what that means. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? So close and yet so far. This is very obviously the oldest part of the temple, around which all else has grown over time. Ancient tapestries hang from the walls, decorated with portraits of a single ape, clothed in violet and crowned by the sun. He is the first emperor, the 100-souled founder of the Empire of Hands. His authority reaches across time. Not much to look at, is it? Declares the delightful adventuress. They say they buried the old bugger with all of them. 100 of the finest souls. A hecatomb, if you will. She laughs for a moment at a joke only she and perhaps 3 others in the Neath would appreciate. Mark of respect by the primates, you know. To say no one else could do half as much with them. Her eyes glint. Let's do something about that. What's this red chips over here? A drop of red honey hangs in the middle, bleeding out through cracks in the salt. Red honey contains memories. Why would the chips be here? Yeah, eat it. The memories are diluted and largely unspecific, but that's not important. What this red honey carries is something far deeper, a connection of souls across centuries, the birth of an empire in which even the lowest could be uplifted and sparks of greatness itself passed on, magnified, never lost with the passing of flesh. This was the dream of the first emperor, one of unity and evolution, transcendence and glory. His memory was placed here that all could see their true destiny, purpose. Instead, as if the emperor himself is receiving a glimpse of the empire his dream became, his tears run uncontrollably down your cheeks. Open the tomb? The memory fades, but something remains. Only one who is worldly wise as the first emperor hoped his people would open the door. Seems like such a simple thing now. It is slightly more complicated than simply pushing the door open, but only a little. The first emperor's bones lie in state, surrounded by souls in spheres of blue, green, and silver. Oh, very fine work, she declares, taking a moment to admire the architecture before turning her attention to the souls. Now, unless my eyes deceive me, there are not 100, not even close. Blasted legends and their exaggerations. This will complicate matters, but oh well. Barnabas, do be a dear and gather those up. And as for you, she adds, drawing a rapier that glistens at the end, kindly remain where you are. No. The delightful adventuress tuts. I would not, she warns. There's but just a tiny but efficacious little drop of Cantagast of Vendom in the tip, purchased at considerable expense for just this sort of eventuality. Oh, don't be sulky, she adds. When I tell this story, your death will be glorious, your crew especially the most moved by your journey home. All the Neath will know of your great sacrifice. Though I may change your name to something that rolls better off the tongue, something with a little more pep. I'm sure you understand. Ugh. This could be going better. Such simple things, aren't they? Says the delightful adventuress. Goodness only knows what the devils do with them. But opportunity is opportunity, is it not? My friends in the Iron Republic were quite happy to agree safe passage to and from their homeland in exchange for this legacy. They will have to be satisfied, I suppose. Her lips turn up into a smug smile. And next time I bid the accursed Leonora Fortescue go to hell, well, I shall be able to recommend the bloody sights. A calculated risk. Let's be a badass. You barely get close before Barnabas' arms close around yours. The delightful adventuress nods appreciatively. Well, that's that then, she says, backing out of the vault. Oh, except for one minor detail. Barnabas, I thank you for your loyalty and fine service. As a final courtesy, please do the honors and ensure our friend here remains buried. It's a fine resting place, Such a shame it'll be wasted on just one ape. The clay man lurches towards her as he produces one of your confiscated sticks of dynamite, lights it, and drops it in the corridor. Before either of you get close, it explodes in a cloud of dirt and rubble that seals the exit. Barnabas has no face. He does, however, most definitely have expressions. The one he wears now, it's chilling. All right, let's dig out. Barnabas immediately joins you in the excavation. Were he a regular clay man, he would likely be obeying his last order right now and ending your life for his mistress. Being unfinished, however, he's no mere golem. In her arrogance, the delightful adventuress appears to have forgotten that loyalty is a two-way street. Even with both of you digging through, it'll take far too long to clear the rubble. If the delightful adventuress gets back to your ship with the legacy, she will no doubt persuade the crew to leave without you. Ha-ha! Monkey foundling to the rescue! Captain, she salutes, hanging upside down by your face and grinning. Oh, upside down. Yeah, by your face and grinning. The Captain Empire of Hands used to be her playground, and she couldn't resist the last spin around some old haunts. When she heard the dynamite go off in the spooky old temple of the boring dead monkey, somehow she knew she'd find you close by. Helping! Grins the monkey foundly, letting you climb her rope to safety. Barnabas remains behind, too heavy. He continues to dig his way out, rock by rock. It appears the delightful adventuress is having problems on her own by the rowboats. Whatever the once flea-ridden mayor of Port Stanton took from the delightful adventuress' soul, it evidently came with a loose grip on ethics. He suspected she would try to sneak out without giving him his cut, and he was not wrong. Unfortunately for her, he has a small squad of monkeys at his disposal, and unfortunately for him, she has both her rapier and one last stick of dynamite for mutually assured unpleasantness. Well, says the delightful adventuress seeing you approach, this is an irritating stalemate. Let's team up with the mayor. Forget this lady, she betrayed us. Species traitor, she spits, lowering the rapier. Even she acknowledges that now she's outmatched. But then comes a rumbling from the jungle. She glances over her shoulder and back with a sudden look of endless smugness as Barnabas slowly trudges towards her from the vault. Splendid, she declares. Barnabas, do please deal with this smelly animal and also the monkey. Barnabas' clay muscles seem to swell as he lumbers forward, silent but purposeful. Claymen are obedient. Claymen are loyal. Claymen are reliable. Unfinished claymen can be all of these things too. They can, however, be them by choice rather than by nature. They can also hold grudges extremely well. The delightful adventuress shrieks in fury as Barnabas effortlessly picks her up, dangling her upside down by one leg. The obscenities are muffled by her skirts falling over her mouth, but the gist is quite clear. Well then, says the mayor, carefully eyeing up the clay giant's spare arm. Shall we talk deals now, perhaps? I will donate the legacy to the Zeppelin. Of course he does. The boost to his courtly profile would be tremendous. The deal is struck. Also, we'll take that one, adds the mayor, pointing at the delightful adventuress, trying to sneak away our emperor's legacy. Don't worry, the punishment is not severe. We approve of the avarice still, he grins. We will teach her a little lesson, then banish in shame, a gift to you upon the empire. Cool. We're like the dude right now. Barnabas can decide our fate. He follows the monkeys into the woods towards their boat, still carrying a thrashing, delightful adventuress. He will not allow her to come to any real harm, but appears to concur that a little humility may be in order. But that's their business. Yours is now elsewhere. Hell yeah, it is. My name is Splattercat. I will see you all next time for the next episode of Sunless Sea Zubmariner. Hi, do everybody, and I'll see you when we return.